Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the final day of Carers Week with the Charity for Civil Servants. Delighted to welcome Jane McClenaghan from Vital Nutrition this morning for our session on nutrition for busy people. And there's one thing we know about carers, it's that they are busy people. So this is a short session, it's just half an hour. Jane says she's going to pack as much as she can into 20 minutes to allow time for questions. So I'm going to be very quick just to kind of get through just a couple of bits of housekeeping. So if you have questions or comments for Jane, please use the Q&A. The chat function is disabled for this session. So when you're using the Q&A, there is an option to post anonymously if you wish to do so. There's also the option to use closed captions if you want to. If you look at the top of your screen and click on the three dots above more, and it will come up with something like language and something else. And then if you go across there, the option for closed captions is there. So just very quickly from me as well, before we finish, Karen's going to put a link in the chat from time to time, which will take you to a feedback form for this session. But you can also access the QR code, access the feedback form through this QR code. We really want to make sure that our sessions are meeting the needs of our civil service caring community. So your feedback is absolutely vital for us to learn from this Carers Week this year, and also, of course, to plan for next year. And then a very quick thank to CareTech, who is supporting this with us. So I'm going to move over now and hand you over to Jane for this session.
Thank you, Kath. All right, let me see. Okay, I'm just going to share my screen. This techie bit done first. Okay. Hello, everyone. It's really good to be back with you. It's been a really busy week. There's been lots of brilliant sessions, and I know the team have been working really hard behind the scenes. So thank you to them for the support that they have given me as a presenter. So as Kath said, you know all about being a busy person. As a carer, you're juggling a lot of things. And some of the sessions that I've done previously in the week have been about the people that you're caring for. And this one is for you, specifically for carers. So when we are juggling loads of different things, often the first thing that goes from under us are the things that hold our foundation strong. And that includes our diet. So we're going to think about lots of shortcuts, but we're also going to think about actually what your body needs when you're busy and what you need to thrive and survive. So to kind of get through your day and really support your energy levels. So let me just go back to that slide really quickly, actually. I know that lots of you have been asking questions at the end. We will have time for questions at the end of this session, but if you want to get in touch with me directly, then if you find Vital Nutrition on Instagram, Facebook, or online, you can contact me directly there as well. Right, let's think about how we start our day. How we start our day has huge effects on our levels of stress and how we feel the rest of the day. So we're going to think about shaking up your wake up. Yes, it might be one of the busiest times of your day, but giving yourself just a few minutes for self-care can really make you stronger and make you more resilient to whatever your day is going to hold. So the first thing is give yourself a little bit of time. So I know I've put at the top of the list, give yourself more time. That doesn't necessarily have to mean that you luxuriate in an extra hour in the morning. Even just 5 minutes will make all the difference. 10 minutes would be better, but even 5 minutes would make all the difference. So that might mean getting into bed 5 or 10 minutes earlier. So think about how you're managing your time. And in that 5 or 10 minutes, there's lots that you can do. So, you know, we tend to get up with the alarm clock and start our day with a rush. If we can start our day slightly calmer, it means that you're calming your nervous system. You're telling your nervous system that you're in a safe space and you're putting your body into your parasympathetic, which is your rest and digest mode, rather than straight into fight or flight. So a little bit of movement, that might be walking around the block, that might not be appropriate, or you might not be able to do that. It might just be a bit of, giving yourself a wriggle, giving yourself a stretch, doing some sort of movement in the morning. You've been snuggled up under that duvet all night, so give yourself a bit of movement. Rehydrate. So the first sign of dehydration is fatigue. And as a carer, I know that the load can be really heavy and it can really take its toll. So if we can just get some of those building blocks in that are going to really help to energize you, it will make all the difference. So get some water into you first thing. Get outside, especially at this time of year. It might also be that if you can, maybe eat your breakfast outside. That makes such a difference to your circadian rhythm, to your sleep-wake cycle, to your energy throughout the day, and your resilience for the busy day ahead. So it might just be, you might be able to combine some of these things. You might be able to get up 5 minutes earlier, get down into the kitchen, pour yourself a glass of water and drink it outside. And walk around. Even if you've got a tiny little garden like mine, bit of walking around your garden, check things out, check the plants. That'll be a nice mindful thing to do, even if the plants are weeds. All of those things, just in 5 minutes, can really help to shake up your wake up and get your day off to a better start. Let's move on to breakfast. So we want to think about getting some protein on your plate, because the protein is what is going to sustain you. So on a day when you are so busy, there's an expression we use in Northern Ireland, which is you meet yourself coming backwards, which means that you are super, super busier than you want to be. If you can get protein at breakfast, that is going to really support your adrenal stress glands. It's going to keep your energy going, but it also means that you will feel fuller for longer. You're not going to get that blood sugar dip mid-morning, and you're not going to get increased adrenaline. If it's a day where you're not too sure when your next meal break is going to be, that protein is particularly important, because that's just going to keep you more sustained. More on that in a second. I'm clicking the wrong button, sorry, to move that slide forward. So we want to focus on, sorry, yeah, I was missing one there. We want to really think about being organized. And again, this does not have to take a lot of time. It is a bit of forethought, but it does not have to take a lot of time. So I am all for cook once, eat twice. And whether that is overnight oats that you put in the fridge and you make up enough for 2 mornings, or whether it is a super salad that you make at lunch that does you 2 lunches, or whether it's your one pot wonder of a curry or a bolognese that you can eat today and have leftovers tomorrow, maybe in a slightly different way. So maybe like something like your bolognese as bolognese tonight, but then maybe in something like a baked potato or a baked sweet potato tomorrow. All of this is going to save you time and help to take a load off. And when we think about being organized and batch cooking, it's always dinner that we think about. But let's move that attention also to our breakfast and lunch. And overnight oats are great. Little mini egg muffins that you can make up in a tray. You could put like maybe your chopped bacon, or if you're feeling decadent, a little bit of smoked salmon in there. Lots of maybe herbs and scallions, tomatoes, any vegetables you've got. Mix it all up. Put that into your muffin trays. Pour your egg over the top. And that could be a good part of a breakfast or part of a lunch. I've done it again, pressing the wrong button. So we want to make sure that what we are eating keeps us sustained. Slow release carbohydrates. When we are busy, we do not want those blood sugar dips. So if we're eating lots of white carbohydrates and lots of sugar, that gives us an instant spike in energy, yes, but then we get a dip, then we get a crash. And when we're busy, we compensate for that crash by releasing more adrenaline. So it gets to the end of your day and you feel exhausted, or the end of the week at the weekend and you just want to crash on the sofa all weekend. So just think about how you nourish yourself, how you support yourself, how you keep that energy really nicely sustained. So get the slow release carbs in. In other words, choose carbohydrates that have got fiber. So if we're going for bread, go for the whole grain, or maybe a rye bread. Go for your whole grain pasta, your brown rice, your oat cakes instead of cream crackers, for example. Get a little bit more fiber on your plate and your body will reward you by giving you much more energy that you can do what you need to do on those busy days. Also think about the quantity of your carbohydrate. When we're busy, the easy thing to reach for is bread or something starchy, something carby, biscuits maybe in between meals. Try and switch that around. So go for the carbohydrate that's got a little bit more fiber in it, and you'll find that it's more satisfying. So try and have a bit less carbohydrate on your plate, because it's not just the quality of the carbs that will make you crash and not give you that resilience, but it's also the quantity. So on your plate, you don't really want any more than about a fist-sized portion of carbohydrates. That can be your starchy carbs, your potatoes, rice, pasta, etc. But it could also be things like starchy vegetables like sweet potato, butternut squash, carrots, beetroot would also work too, or lentils and beans, for example, in your salads. Eat better fat, not low fat. When we are busy, our body is, again, those adrenals are on high alert. We are go, go, go. We do not stop. We have a much higher need for optimum nutrition. And one of the key nutrients here are healthy fats, because we need those for all the hormones in our body, including those adrenal hormones, but also we need them for healthy neurotransmitter balance. So our serotonin which is our feel-good hormone, our melatonin, which helps us sleep, our dopamine, which gives our drive, our energy, and our get up and go. So think about getting some good fats into your diet on those busy days. So that could be just checking in with yourself and making sure, have I had some slow release carbs? Have I had some healthy fats? So maybe avocados, oily fish, a little handful of nuts and seeds, or things like tahini or nut butter, perhaps something like some olive oil as the dressing on your salads. Just think about nourishing your body, supporting your body, and getting those good fats on your plate. And then we also want to make sure that every meal includes at least one of your 5 a day, especially your breakfast. So often, I've just been on with a client actually, and we were talking about her regular diet. And she said, at breakfast, I don't really have fruit, and I forget to have vegetables at lunchtime. And it's so easy to do that. Go through your day but then get to the afternoon and go, actually, I've only had one portion of my 5 a day. That's much too hard. Make it easy on yourself. Get one of your 5 a day in at breakfast, aim for 2 at lunch. That could be something like a bit of salad and bits and pieces in it, maybe a wholemeal pita, and then a piece of fruit after. Make it easy. Keep it simple. Think about the timings of your meals. On busy days, we either run on empty, so we don't fuel ourselves properly, that we're not putting the energy in that we need to get us through that busy day, or we just eat on the go. So we grab empty calories. We grab food that is not giving us the nutrition that our body so desperately needs when we are super busy. So keep a regular routine as much as you possibly can. And also give your little body a rest overnight. So aim to, this can help with sleep, with digestion, with energy. Aim to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. So again, this depends on your routine and your caring responsibilities. So it might be that you're caring for someone that you don't live with, and you have to be with them later into the evening, and then you come home and feel like maybe that's the only time that you get to sit down and rest. And that's so tempting to go for something like a cup of tea and a biscuit. But just think about the timing of your meal and what that evening snack is doing in terms of your sleep quality and quantity. So aim to stop eating 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed, and aim to eat within about a 12-hour window. So let's say, for example, if you go to bed at 10:30, 10 o'clock or 10:30, you want to stop eating about 7 or 7:30. And then overnight, fast right through until you wake up, which you will do anyway, probably, if you're not waking up and having a midnight feast. So you don't eat all night for 12 hours, and then you have breakfast at 7, 7:30, 8. So that 12-hour fast is really important because it helps your body regenerate, it helps your body do the cleanup system, and it helps to power up the mitochondria, which are the energy powerhouses in your cell. So in the morning, you should wake up feeling a bit more refreshed and a bit more energized. Rethink your drinks. When we're busy, we want something to keep us up, keep us going. So that's when we go, right, I need a coffee, I need a cup of tea, I need an energy drink. But those things can add into the stress load or onto the stress load. So maybe consider where you're having your caffeine. Don't run on too much. So ideally no more than a couple of cups of coffee, and have it earlier in the day, because for many of us, caffeine can stay in our system for 8-10 hours, and that can affect our sleep. Green tea would be a really good option, because although green tea contains caffeine, it's also got something called theanine that has a real calming effect on your body, but it also really helps your focus. I love it. I think it's a really good kind of just helps with energy, but also it doesn't give you the jittery feeling, and it's a really nice antioxidant too. Also remember that fruit juice, there can be as much sugar in your fruit juice as there is in a can of Coke. So yes, it'll give you that spike in energy, but remember then it's going to give you the crash. And keep hydrated. So when you are on those busy days, carry your water bottle with you, fill it up in the morning, take it with you, sip it throughout the day. Remember that, what I was saying about the sign of dehydration, the first sign is fatigue. So protein powered breakfast. So things like, we've talked about some of these ideas before. So things like your protein porridge, or at this time of the year, overnight oats. The protein in your porridge will be a spoonful of milled flaxseed, the yogurt you make your porridge with, and a little dollop of yogurt on top. Same with your overnight oats. Might be an omelette or scrambled eggs. Kath was saying that she had her scrambled egg for breakfast this morning. That's why she's so energized. So that would be a really brilliant breakfast, and quick and easy and handy. Greek yogurt, low sugar granola, do it in a little layer pot, stick it in the fridge if that's easier. Maybe if you're taking your breakfast out with you, you'll find that recipe for carrot cake overnight oats on my website, which I will share with you shortly. Stop for lunch. And when the weather permits, not the last couple of days in Belfast, but when the weather allows, get yourself outside at lunchtime. Remember that idea that your circadian rhythm, retuning that, helping with your energy. So if you can step outside and eat your lunch outside when you can, you will feel better for it. But also sit at a table. Think about your meal times as your little stopgaps in the day to refuel you, to nourish you, and to give you the energy to get you through the next few hours. So at lunchtime, it might be a super salad. So things, for example, like quite often I will make up, like get these, I'm going to just share a different screen with you for a second. Quite often I'll make up a super salad with pouches of lentils, or like whole grains, and then put it in with lots and lots of different veggies. So there is a good little recipe here. This one, pre-lentil and apricot salad, uses a pack of ready cooked lentils, apricots, carrots, celery, orange, whatever you've got. But that would do you over 2 lunches. Make it easy. Keep it simple. Nourish yourself, but in a really, really easy way. Right, let me get back to our slides. Also, pick up things that are handy. Pick up a packet of falafels and a pot of hummus and some pita pockets and a bag of salad, and maybe some carrots that you could grate in, or cherry tomatoes, and a bunch of bananas. That will give you the fillings for a beautiful falafel hummus pita with some salad in it, and then a banana afterwards. Brilliant, quick, easy, super, super simple, but it's going to fuel you. Soups, even at this time of the year, absolutely. Either make them or get the ones in the cartons that are just going to give you a bit of nourishment. And if you're going for a meal deal, just choose something that has at least got some vegetables in there, some protein with it, and maybe a piece of fruit. So get yourself nourished and refueled at lunchtime. Are you hungry or hangry? So in the afternoon, if we get that dip, we are looking for something sweet often. And then that can really make us feel, it can mean that we become more impatient, more irritable, more hangry. And that, when you are in a caring responsibility, you've already got a lot on your shoulders without that feeling. So if your snacks can keep your blood sugar more stable, you will feel less of that irritability and stress. So things like keep little Greek yogurts handy, keep bags of nuts and seeds handy, really dark chocolate, chop up an apple and put peanut butter on it. carrot sticks and hummus in the fridge. All these things are tasty, nourishing, and help keep your patience and your mood and your energy stable. We've already talked about the hydration. Mid-week meal times. One-pot wonders are your friends. Your air fryer is a brilliant invention because you can put in there your fish or your chicken. I picked up yesterday I'd not seen it before, out of Marks and Spencer. I had a very busy day yesterday, really long day. It was marinated chicken, put it in the air fryer, steamed some greens, and had some baby boiled potatoes with it. It took, I think it was 15 minutes. You know, it does not have to take a long time. Those pouches of ready cooked rice are wonderful. You can do that with a really good curry. You can make a stir fry with it. Keep it simple. Always make a little bit extra. Bulk out your bolognese, bulk out your curry, put extra vegetables in there, put a can of chickpeas in there, make it last a little bit longer. So I know that this is a little bit of a quick round, but hopefully it's given you some ideas about how important it is for you just to look after your own nutrition when you are caring for someone else. So hopefully we have got some questions. I can see lots of questions actually. Right, we'll try and get through as many of these as we can then.
The first one I was just going to cut, which isn't a question at all, but I just thought it was great. It came in the light of what you were talking about, moving in the morning, Jane. And somebody has said, I like to do a 10-minute BG's workout. And they've actually put a link into it, in the chat as well. So
I love that.
I thought that was great. Yes.
I love that.
Yes. Somebody said, does eating on the train count if you travel through the countryside?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I think so. I think make the most of the moments that you've got. So yes, when you're traveling through the countryside, instead of looking at your phone, look out the window. That's getting you in touch with nature and it's really calming. Yeah.
So, and what easy and healthy meals do you recommend for someone who has dairy, gluten, soy, and egg intolerance?
Dairy, gluten, soy, and egg.
Yeah.
So for me, I would think there about, again, just really read your labels. So really get to know what is going to work for you. So those little pouches are brilliant because, let me just take you shopping just for a minute. I know we're really short in time, but you can get brilliant little pouches of whole grains. I'm going to share my screen. That are, you know, these are the things I was talking about. You can get these that are gluten-free, that are dairy-free. They're amazing to build a meal over. So quite often I have things like like last week I was with my friends. We used these glorious grains and put loads of herbs in it and veggies and made like a tabbouleh type thing. Often I will get a bag of lentils like that, the ready cooked lentils, stick them in the microwave or in a pot, heat them up, do your fish with that and your steamed greens. There's lots of options. So get to know what's on your label, I think, is important.
Thanks, Jane. Yeah, there's somebody else. This isn't really a comment, but I wanted to bring some in because they're so nice. Somebody said that she hadn't thought of eating breakfast outside, and generally it's rather cold first thing in Buxton. But she's and she can't leave the house. But she's going to try standing on the doorstep and listening to the birds while eating her breakfast.
Yes, very nice. I love that. It's all about making this work for you. That is the most important. Very nice.
And I'm just going to say I'm sorry because we're not going to get to all of the questions, but I wanted to pick this one out. What do you recommend for low-income households where we try to keep the fresh fruit and veg for the kids to eat?
Okay, this is really important. So I'm going to suggest that you look at frozen fruit and veg, and also you look at tinned fruit and veg. Frozen is just as nutritious, in fact, sometimes more nutritious than the fresh stuff. And it can be really economical. So look at the frozen stuff, and tinned is still fine. It's not as good as the frozen, but the tinned is still fine. So that's what I would encourage you to do. And also look at shopping if it's practical. Shop at the end of the day where you're getting reduced things. In fact, yesterday again, it was in Tesco's yesterday, and it was in the middle of the day, and it was reduced fruit. You know, so just look out for that because often it's best before that day, but you can still use it afterwards. So things like that can help.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call about the frozen, isn't it? Because a lot of us, we kind of think, oh, it's not as good as the fresh, but actually it's very
sometimes
good.
It's better. Yeah.
Somebody's asked about recipe ideas, but I think you've said that there are recipes on your website.
Lots and lots and lots. So again, if you go on to my website is vital-nutrition.co.uk. So you'll find loads of recipes on there. I'm going to share the link with that in the chat as well. Oops.
Thank you. This is an interesting question for me. Somebody else has shared it, but is decaf tea and coffee a good option?
So decaf tea and coffee will make you feel less jittery and less anxious. It takes a load off, so it's much better than your caffeine, especially if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed. It doesn't hydrate you like any tea or coffee. It won't hydrate you, but I think it is a better option. Yes.
And do you have kid-friendly meal recommendations? This person said they don't have time to cook separately for themselves and for the kids.
Yes, I think this is a really good point. It's better if we can make things that suit everybody. I would point you in the direction of go onto Jamie Oliver's website because he's got loads of family-friendly, brilliant recipes, and also the BBC recipe website. But things like fajitas, quick stir fries, things like your spaghetti bolognese, mild curries, depending on what age the kids are, like a roast dinner and making your, say if it's a chicken, making that chicken, do the roast dinner tonight, do chicken pesto pasta with the leftovers tomorrow. Things like that are really, really good. You know, family meals, brilliant.
There's lots of comments. Well, there's various things about people that I kind of don't eat particular things. There's somebody that said that they're a very fussy eater, work 2 jobs and a full-time student and carer, don't have time to cook food or do meal prep, but also don't eat raw vegetables. So,
Okay.
and other people that have said that they don't like to cook, but try to come up with dishes that take 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Other people that kind of have various different kind of limits on what they're able to do or eat.
Yeah, I think with that, it's really this is obviously a general and a very short session, but it's planning, it's getting yourself organized, it's discovering, it's kind of exploring different options. And even if that's all these sessions do, is just get you thinking differently about other foods that are available. Go and look in the curry sauce range and see if there's something there that you would eat. Have a look in those whole grain sections. You know, just explore different ideas, and it's okay if you only eat cooked fruit and vegetables. That's absolutely fine, but try and build a little tiny bit more variety into your diet because you will get more nutrition that way.
Thank you. I was just yeah, there was a question about any recommendations for menopause. Jane, I can't remember whether you've done a session about nutrition and menopause, but I think you have, haven't you?
I think we have. Yes, we've definitely done one on feet. Let me just have a look. Yes, I think we have, and it should be on the hub.
Our website then, shouldn't it?
Yes.
Having a quick.
I can't even see the date when it was actually. Yes, it was October. We did that.
Okay.
Mhm.
So for the person who asked that question, if you go onto our website, which is cfcs.org.uk, the best way to find the webinars, I find, is just to go into the search and just put webinars in, and you'll get to the page. And the top ones will be the ones that are upcoming, and then underneath there'll be all our recorded ones. And you can, I think, search specifically for Vital Nutrition. But even if you can't, you can just look through. And Jane's done quite a lot of sessions for us, including one on menopause. Someone said, I find it really tough to maintain a healthy sleep and meal routine when I work from home, especially as I'm in a smaller apartment. Do you have any tips for improving this?
So one of the things I would say is if you possibly can get morning daylight, it's one of the best ways to help reset that sleep-wake cycle and also avoid caffeine later in the day. So from about lunchtime, get caffeine out of your day, I would say.
Thank you. Yeah, another question about any future sessions. I don't know whether we've got any more planned at the moment, Jane, but certainly just again, there have been, I mean, this is the 4th one that Jane's done this week, plus there are ones that she's done previously. So there is plenty from Jane on our website. So hopefully that you'll get to that. People commenting on when they find best reductions. Somebody saying your recipes look amazing, Jane.
Oh, good. Good,
Can't
good,
wait
good.
to try. Somebody else saying can't wait to try them. Oh, and thanks, Karen. Karen's just put the link for the webinar page.
Brilliant.
Somebody's saying, what drink do you suggest? What drink do you suggest to drink to lessen the chances of getting acid reflux?
Acid reflux, fennel tea can be really quite beneficial. It's very soothing on the digestive tract. So I would try that. And also just keep a food diary and notice what you're eating and drinking and write down symptoms. And then that can help you to do a bit of detective work and work out what might be triggering your symptoms. We have got some other sessions coming up, Kath, in September, October, and November. So there are some more dates on the diary too.
Yeah,
After the summer.
just keep an eye on our website. And just somebody else said, can you share the site? If you scroll down the Q&A, Karen has put in a link to the charity's website where all the webinars will be. So thank you so much, and thank you, Jane. Feels like it's been a whistle-stop tour, but we've kind of got through absolutely loads in that time,
Thank you,
which I guess
Kath.
is what busy people do manage to do in half an hour, isn't it, really?
It's amazing, isn't it? All
Yeah.
those busy people.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. So thank you so much, Kath, and everyone
right.
for tuning in.
Yes, so thanks so much for joining us today. We've just got a couple more Carers Week sessions left today. We hope you've enjoyed it. Do please spend a couple of minutes filling in the feedback form if you can. And thanks for joining, and hope it's been really good for you.
Thank you. Bye.